So this news kind of hurt me because I wasn't really expecting this to happen, right? 50 Cent and Omari Hardwick, who played Ghost on the original Power, not these spinoffs, but Ghost, they're kind of having issues. And I think they've been having a little bit of issues throughout the years because Omari Hardwick would say, I barely got paid for the episodes I did on Stars and this and that. And I think he would have like certain things where he'd be like, man, like they sold me this dream. And he says it again here. So 50 reacts to this. Let's go over the article. 50 Cent has taken offense to comments made by the Power star Omari Hardwick about the end of the actor's run on the successful series, which 50 executive produced. Right, Hardwick made the comments during a panel discussion on Wednesday, July 10th, as part of an interrupted film festival. On Saturday, July 13th, 50 posted a video of Hardwick's comments, adding his own disappointed commentary, which he removed, by the way. But, hey, people still got the screenshots and stuff. He said, I'm with y'all in this sense, Hardwick said, of being disappointed by the ending of Power, when his character was murdered by his own son. I'm with you in the sense that the way the story was sold and told to me is not befitting of the way it ended. Guys, so y'all have every right to be like, it didn't end right. We have to forget that the fans are being sold and told a story that had a genesis and that it has to end the way it was sold. He continued. So he basically just saying, listen, I was told the show was going to end a different way, which, listen, things like this, Power ran for 5 years, I think, or 6 years. Somewhere around there, 6 years. I think it started in 2014, ended in 2020 maybe. I think 2020 probably. 6 years. Let's just say 6 years. And, of course, the show is going to change as time goes on, right? Like, they're going to have different ideas. They're going to have different pathways of doing things, and that's just the reality of anything that you're working on for that long. You know, I had an idea for the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary when I first started. But then you finally shoot, you finally see what you got, you finally see what you can work with, what you can't work with, and then it comes out a different way. Because if it was my way, 100% the way I envisioned it in my brain, which never happens, you can never execute 100% what you envision in your brain in any project. That's just not reality. Because your brain is always going to see things in the perfect way, and you're going to imagine things just working out in the perfect way all the time. And that's not the reality of the world. Right? You could be, oh my God, I see this vision of if we shoot this part with this New York bridge and the sun's glaring, that's not going to happen. Maybe that day where you have to shoot, it's going to be raining, it's going to be foggy, it's whatever, right? So those type of things play into it. And same with stories, right? You're going to have a trajectory when you start out of the way you plan things, but then it changes. Now, is that 50's fault? No, he's not a writer. He's executive producer. The writers, each episode, and as the seasons go on, they decide. The main, obviously, writer is obviously Courtney Kemp. She's the one that decides this is what happens with this show and this is where we're going to go in direction. So he can't really blame 50 for that, right? But 50 kind of took it personal. He said, this N-word is a strange bird. The fuck is he talking about? I never done nothing but look out for him. If he needed something, I gave it to him. I understand now. That shit didn't matter at all. Now, he removed this post, so I'm sure Omari hit him up privately in the DMs and said, I think you took it the wrong way, which I don't know if 50 could have taken it the wrong way. I think what mainly Omari was saying is like, you know, they told me a certain way it's going to end, and they probably sold you fans on a certain way it would end, and it just didn't end up to happen that way. That's not really disrespectful. It's just, you know, but Omari has said in the past things like, you know, I wasn't paid properly, and I was supposed to be the face. I'm the face of Stars right now, and I'm not getting paid what other people get paid for being the face of a whole premium network, blah, 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 right? You said that a million times. But 50, he's also given 50 props by saying, you know, when I was really broke before we started Stars and before the first season officially came out, he was like, I had to borrow a loan from 50. I think it was like $10,000 or something like that just to help me out. And then I paid it back to him with interest, blah, blah, blah. So 50 didn't have to loan him that money. They've just been like, yo, figure it out. Because that's the thing with a lot of these actors is they can shoot things, but it's not like they're getting paid immediately off what they shot. It's gotta air, then they gotta, you know, get residual, whatever the hell, all that stuff. Like it's a slow process. So in between time, you're pretty much jobless. So you gotta wait to see if the show actually gets picked up. If it gets picked up, they run it for one season. Did it do really well first season? Okay, we're picking up renewing it for second season. And that's how it usually goes. It's rare that they renew like 2 or 3 seasons after the first one, unless it just does astronomical numbers that like they didn't even have they couldn't even fathom the numbers, right? Then you get like a 2 and 3 season renewal, like stuff like that. But usually they renew every season and then see where it goes from there. I'm just disappointed in the fact that I think that Omari could come back in Power if they do a prequel, before, which kind of Raising Kanan is that, but that's more of like Kanan's life. I'm talking like a prequel before like Kanan, like the grown Kanan went to prison and he was running things and Omari was there and Tommy was there, or Ghost and Tommy were there and so on and so forth. But I haven't watched any of the Power spinoffs. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. And I'm a huge 50 supporter of always, but I watched the original Power. I never ended up watching the spinoffs. I just kind of, I don't know, maybe I just lost interest, but I might end up watching them down the line now that like I think the Ghost one is done officially. And then I'm gonna wait. I'll probably start watching the Ghost one pretty soon here. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully they can mend this relationship. Hopefully they did already because 50 removed it, but we'll see what happens moving forward.